this is Jim Manske Memorial, a time to reflect and celebrate with Jory and River. And before turning to them, I just want to say that for me it's a privilege and an honor to be here with you in this session. And it was to be with Jory and Jim during the last year in the practice group. And I turn it to you, Jory and River. Thank you.
Well, I hear your tears and I feel mine. And it's so sweet to see the rest of you. And I figured I might cry, but I thought maybe not so soon. But here I am, just with a lot of appreciation that we're celebrating this really special being in our lives. Thank you for joining, being with me and everyone else. It's very precious. River?
Yeah, I'm inclined to invite us to just pause for a moment and savor us being together. Savor what brings us together, love, and what we've learned and gotten from Jim and Jory. So I'll be quiet here for maybe a minute. So here comes more words.
Mm-hmm.
So the plan, as I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the plan is Jory and I may say something for a while. Then Happy Ron, who I think Happy Ron was a frequent participant in the practice group. Is that right? I see Martha nodding. So
Yes, yes, I will.
We'll hear a song from him. And then thanks to Corey Tyler, hi Corey, during the Buddhist gathering, which many of you joined the week after Jim passed his body, we'll hear Jim's audio of Jim speaking of mourning. And then there'll be time, around a half an hour for breakout for individuals. There'll be about 5 folks in each breakout for the half an hour. And again, you can choose not to participate for whatever reason. If that doesn't feel like what you want to do, you put an equal sign in front of your name. And then that will signal, Martha, that then you'll go into a non-breakout room that won't have any recording on it. It's just a place to be for that time. And then we'll come back together. There could be around about an hour for individual voices, or I see groups on the screen to have an opportunity to speak. Hi, Lou. And then we plan to close with a video of Jim. And there might be an opportunity for us to go into a second breakout if we feel like that's what we'd like to do to kind of wrap up, to be sure an opportunity for voices. I hope that was clear enough.
Mm-hmm. Any questions?
So before we go into what we may want to say, Joy, I'd just like to thank the NVC Academy for giving space for this to happen, for the many years of the conference, which really was the seed for this gathering. So I'm so appreciative that there's this opportunity for us to do the celebration and mourning and healing that might be up for part of the reason that we've gathered.
So thankful to have this celebration with all of you. Just to see your faces really warms my heart. And yes, I will have tears. This is really hard on me. Not that you're here, but how life has gone. It wasn't what I expected. It wasn't what he expected either. It was actually a promise he made to me at our wedding. I see Leanne shaking her head. She knew about that. That I was so scared to get married, having been widowed before. And, I said, you have to promise me you'll outlive me. And he laughed and said, yeah. And yet here we are celebrating his life. And I don't have much else to say with all of this. I'm probably even repeating myself a little bit just because this is the truth of my experience. I'm so thankful to have had my time with him. I'm so brokenhearted that he's gone. I'm complete for now. So we have a song coming now? Or?
Well, in just a second, Jory, is it okay if I
Sure.
say a little bit? What's coming up for me is I looked at the calendar. Today, as far as I know, is February 2nd, and February 4th, 1978 was the day that I and several other folks that I see here met Jim Manske in Jim and I were fresh out of college. So I recognize that in my view, whole adult lives, we were friends. Both got out of college, enrolled for a residential training to learn skills about how to demand less and love more in Central Kentucky. We showed up, gravitated toward each other, and ever since then, we've been sharing methods and practicing together. And so many life adventures, from supporting the business that Jim and Jory started, selling wood stoves and hot tubs in Albuquerque, New Mexico, many adventures. And yeah, it's just stunning and I think for many of us, to not consider having Jim around as we grow older. That's one of the things that I really find challenging, how to manage this deep, valuable relationship with just one body. And I don't know how that's going to go, but I'm open and curious, and I can hear him say, don't resist what is, or resistance is futile, or something like that. So this is what is.
Futile.
Nobody asked for this, and here we are.
Mm-hmm.
So that's feels like enough from me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready to hear Happy Ron. Does something come up for you to add, Jory, before we shift gears here?
No, I'm appreciating your clarity and openness, and that everybody's here just to celebrate his life together. Thank you.
So I think you're on, Ron.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna jump in 1 second because I think I need to make Ron a co-host in order to actually, Martha, you'll need to make Ron a co-host in order for his settings to come through. We discovered that earlier. That's an important feature of this.
He's co-host now.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Before I play, I'd just like to say that the thing I admired most about Jim was when I got into NVC and became a very public person, I kind of made the decision that I'm autistic spectrum, and I made the decision I didn't really want to be the guy that everybody with problems would come to all the time and the most obnoxious people. So I still kind of hold some people at bay if they have real trouble communicating, if they're really, really needy. And I admired the Jim that was so open to everybody, including people that I would have trouble empathizing with. So this song I wrote to be played at my funeral. I wrote it with Freebo, who's Bonnie Raitt's bass player. And it's about what you'd say to the people you love if you only have a little time left. Since we're all only here a little while, we might as well say it now. My life is ticking down. It's not what I would choose. I hear your saddened sound of all you think you'll lose. But before I leave this life, I have this wish for you, the hope that you will see the wider view. Only see the wider view and paint the way with me. Your canvas won't be quite so blue, for you don't want it to be. The colors that we've known mean you won't paint alone if you choose to see the wider view. It's just a part of life. We're only here a while. We made the best of everything, the most of every mile. And all the joyous times you painted on my face, 'twas you who made me better with your grace. Only see the wider view and paint the way with me. Your canvas won't be quite so blue, for you don't want it to be. The colors that we've known mean we won't paint alone if you choose to see the wider view. Soon I will be gone. It's one last song I sing. Maybe that's the way to give back everything. And I pray that you'll remember that what I say is true, and you will see me in your wider view. Only see the wider view and paint the way with me. Your canvas won't be quite so blue, for you don't want it to be. The colors that we've known mean we don't paint alone if you choose to see the wider view. That's the colors that we've known mean you won't paint alone if you choose to see the wider view. Rest in peace, Jim. Thank you for everything.
I'd like to just be quiet for a moment. I don't see that there's time to hear from everyone, but I'd enjoy hearing a couple of voices or so. If there's any response or anything to say that's coming to you from the song or anything that's come up from here so far today. Just raise your hand either electronically or you can wave. Electronically is a little simpler. There's a raise hand or a signal at the bottom, or if you touch your screen, that should come up. And there's no need. There's no voice. Yeah, Rena, nice to see you.
Yeah. Thank you, River, Jim. Yeah, Jim. Jory. You know, this wider view that we're talking about. When it's middle of the night, when I started my laptop, you know, the screen showed the universe. You know, the images changed, and today's screen showed the universe with a bright star. And I believe Jim shows us the way and shows us his presence, makes it felt. And I resonate so much. How do we do this? How do we do this relationship with one body? Yeah. And then with all of us here, I am sensing the oneness that Jim and Jory, you helped us cultivate. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Rena. Hello, Juliana, if you want to unmute.
Hello. Hello, Jory. Love you so much. You know, yeah, I just want to tell you this. The Jim was nothing but love. He had such a heart of love and support for all of us here, each and every human being here that he encountered. And that is what I learned from him, Jory. And, you know, I want to tell you, I want to acknowledge you, Jory. When you came, and Jim came to India, I sat through every talk of yours, Jory, and one talk of Jim's. And at my final assessment, my topic was transforming enemy images, and I learned that from you, and I dedicated one slide to you. I want you to know what a great part of Jim's life and work you were. He always, in so many times, he said, please stay close to Jory. And Jory, I want to tell you, I want to stay close to you. And I want to be reaching out to you. And I want to just, even as I say, aloha, Jim, I want to say that in your death, Jim, you have given me this one lesson, this one thing, that death is inevitable, but how we live life is our choice. This is what you have taught me, Jim. And this is what I take even now as I go out into the world and I remember you and take your love and your life into the world, Jim, and your memory and everything that you've taught me, more by your example than your words. I want to tell you that I will carry you and your love and life with me. Yeah, and Jory, I will be there. I will be there with you, Jory. Yeah. Thank you, Jory. Thank you for everything that you and Jim gave to all of us. Yeah. And to your children, lovely children, Jaya and Jiva, for all that they do in the world. And I was just at the talk where Jaya was there with Sarah Betin. So much of that they give to the world, these lovely family, these lovely children. Thank you. Thank you, Jory, for all of your children, for Jim's life.
Thank you, Julian. I don't have a lot to say other than feel the gratitude to the best of my ability at this point in my life. Thank you. And Leanne and John, I see you have your hand up.
Yes.
Hi, sweetie.
Hi, hon. I love you. I just want you to know that when I think about Jim, I smile because I remember how good it felt to be with him. He was so generous with his love and support, and I know everybody here is here because they loved Jim. I felt like he was a living embodiment of nonviolent communication, and it was so impressive to me whenever we would go anywhere. I witnessed Jim's respect and his compassion for everybody, and that was such an important model for me. John and I were lucky enough to have worked with you, Jory and Jim, and I loved the male energy and perspective that he brought to that work. It was so vital. His devotion to harmony was just amazing, and his fierce love for his family was really a model. I will miss playing card games with him and comparing our Wordle scores. I'm just, I try to carry him with me as an example. I loved watching him nurture things. He loved to nurture plants. I loved to garden with him. Loved to nurture animals, and I loved the care with which Jim delivered the instructions on how I was to give the cat his eye drops, his ear drops when we house sat for you. He was, and of course, it's just so impressive how he loved you. It was a joy to be around.
Yeah.
I know that I will always miss him, as everybody here will. Wow. Yeah, I treasure the time we got to spend together, and I just want to say, because of that, I want to end this by saying what the words that Jim would end his emails to me with, and that is, Jim, thank you. Mahalo, mahalo.
Thank you, Leanne. But John, do you have something to say?
I just do, and it's not as
I welcome your voice. Let me just invite you, John, and then Achun and Joe to be the last for commenting after the song. Soon we'll have a breakout, so there'll be more voices, and we'll come back. There'll be time for individual voices, but I'm hoping that we can stay on a schedule. So thank you. John, where'd you go?
I'm right here. I'm sorry. I just
Oh, I see you now.
I
Yeah,
I do
welcome.
something every morning that I learn from Jim, and although it's not as lofty as a lot of other things people are going to say, but Jim taught me how to play Wordle, and it's the thing I do every morning. So I think about it. So much love, George.
I see
I-
John. Oh, I see Achun has her hand up.
John.
Oops. Joe.
Sorry.
Oh, wait, maybe she's still. Yeah. I see you.
谢谢你，谢谢，谢谢你们来中国。我记得我说我的英语不够好，没办法跟你交流。你告诉我说，你说，因为你也很遗憾你的中文不够好，所以我们没法交流。我一直记着。我很开心我们在一起，能一起度过了30多天的时间，虽然是3年的时间，在3年之中啊，我们有那么多的在一起。我只想说，我真的很爱你们。我做了一个小小的视频，有2分30秒的时间，我希望有机会，能够放出来，或者有机会能够给到招人。我说完了，我会一直记着你们，并传承你们的精神。Jory, I love you.
Is there anything you'd like to say to translate what you said, or would you like someone else to do that?
Can I interpret?
Mm.
Should I ask? 阿春，你想让我翻译一下吗？
也可以，就是我做了一个小视频，大概有2分30秒的时间，我不知道什么时候放可以是合适的。
So River and Jory, I don't know. I just jumped in. Can I interpret for you very briefly a couple of sentences? Achun just expressed her tons of gratitude to you and to Jim. And she made 2-minute video that she wanted to pay the tribute to Jim. And she's wondering whether or not you would like to have it played, and if yes, when can she play it here?
Pass the baton to River on that. What do you?
Thank you. I'd love to see it. Perhaps we could.
Go ahead.
You got an inkling? You got more than I do. Did you?
Well, I was thinking maybe when we come back from the breakout groups.
Lovely. I like that idea. That work?
Mhm.
Would that work for her, Julia?
Sure. 阿春他们想要在这个breakout 完了以后，小组讨论完了以后进到大组再 play. Yeah, yeah. I see. Achun is nodding. Thank you.
And now I'm looking for Robin or Martha to give approval that this technological curveball is okay.
I'll coordinate. I'll coordinate to see what
Okay.
with the material Achun have.
I'd love it. Thank you, Julia.
Thank you.
So
Is there anything else that wants to be said before we go into the breakout?
a little bit of setup, Jory. So a reminder, the hope in our plan was to give maximum choice and opportunity for sharing and hearing. We didn't know how many would come. So having this time with around 5 folks in breakout for a half an hour, hopefully will give an opportunity for connection. There's an invitation. We've thought of a couple of prompts that you might want to address, but don't feel like you need to. And they'll be in the chat. So a couple of questions to just see if you're moved to respond. One is, what's a way that Jim contributed to your well-being? What is one way, or what's some way that Jim contributed to your well-being? And another you might consider is, how might you pay forward what you got from Jim? Something like that. We'll remind those about the prompts when we get closer to the breakout. For now, I think it's time to, we'll hear Jim's voice on morning, and then the breakouts will happen shortly after.
Okay, so I'm gonna share my computer audio sound and we'll listen to Jim speaking to morning. Okay, I'm suffering a technical difficulty. Hang on just a moment.
That we have when we think about mourning, because of this deep habit that's ingrained in us in our society, we tend to avoid it.
Jory, are you not hearing it?
No, I hear it. I just wanted you to make it louder. We're good.
Okay, okay, got
Could
it.
you start
We're
again?
good. Yep, we'll start that again.
imagery that we have when we think about mourning, because of this deep habit of that's ingrained in us in our society. We tend to avoid it, and yet it's, as far as I can tell, it's an observation that every single one of us will have loss. Every single one of us will have loss. We will lose pets and objects and beliefs and opportunities. So everybody's going to have that happen. And wouldn't it be great if we had built into our educational system the capacity to have the emotional intelligence to be able to be with ourselves and to be with others in the face of loss? And so one way to think about what mourning is, it's the ability to transform that suffering, the suffering of loss, by letting go of the resistance that's inside of us to what is. And then just being willing to allow our experience to unfold. And if you think about how we often, because of the way we've been educated, how we, when we have loss, the first thing we often do is blame somebody else. You know, like we just were watching Netflix and watching the story about Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls, and how often when we lose something, even a game, we look for whose fault it is. It's either my fault or their fault. So there's a blame aspect to it, or we blame the external resources, or external circumstances. I mean, and we resist it. We just like push away loss. And then as we continue to grow our emotional intelligence and our willingness to be with life, we might begin to notice the resistance or the blame when it comes up. So we fine-tune our awareness to become aware of not only the feelings of sadness, but our resistance to feeling sad. And then, again, usually it's gradual. We begin to let go of the idea that something's wrong. I remember when we first moved to Hawaii, we met a new friend, Nicole, and she, in the middle of an NBC meeting, she says, "What if there's nothing wrong here?" So she was really awakening me to this idea that the thought of wrongness is in my head. It's not an observation. So I can let go of believing that something should be different than it actually is. And then to open up the space to just experience feelings and allow that experience of connecting to feelings to connect us to our needs or the needs of somebody else.
Let's press pause here for a moment. Shortly, you'll go into breakouts if you choose. The invitation is to use the time as you wish, and be mindful that everyone who wishes to have an opportunity to speak does so, but don't feel an obligation to speak. And the prompts will be put in the chat if you'd like to refer to them as a starting point or something like that. So you'll be called back in a half an hour. There'll be an indication halfway through to just help manage the time. And then there'll be time for individual voices after.
Yeah, and it's often very helpful to have someone be a timer. So if someone has spoken for 15 minutes, to let them know so that we can move on to hear another voice in the group. They are all three, aren't they? Groups of three?
Five or six, Jory.
Oh, okay. Well, then do the math differently than I do. Okay, but to divide the time evenly among everybody and have someone be the timekeeper. Good. All righty.
Thank you, Jory.
Okay. Rooms are opening now. I will keep an eye here to be sure no one is alone. If you change your mind and decide to join a group, you can tell me here in the main room. If you decide not to go to a group, don't worry, just don't join your group. And there is a room for those who decide to put an equal sign in front of your name. You can go there. It's a silent room, and you can stay here in the main room. Just remember, the main room is being recorded, will be edited, but it's been recorded, just to be mindful and in choice. And just to let you know, Jory and River, I prepare a room for you just in case you want to go there. You don't have to, but there is a room.
Thank you.
Understood. Thank you.
I'm content here, but River, if you'd like to go to a separate room, I'm happy to go with you.
Yeah, I'm not drawn there yet, but I want to see how to do it if it comes up. Oh, I see it here. Yeah.
You don't have a sign in front of you that says join breakout room?
Well, I have one now that says Joy and River join. So I think I know how to do it. But
I
I'm
think
happy to be.
I'd just as soon stay here, but it's up to you.
Yeah, me too.
Yes,
But now I have more choice now that I know how to do it.
All right. Well,
It's super
actually, my
clear.
only reason for saying I just as soon stay here is it not to be complicated to get back.
Oh,
which
yeah.
Probably isn't. But anyway, you'd be
Yeah.
there to show me how.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to join a room because somebody is asking for help.
Sure.
Thank you so much, Marta.
Ah, I have such appreciation for how we're being supported and also to hear people's voices. It's very sweet.
And accompanied. Look at this screen.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. No, it's not unbelievable. There's just this sense of, oh, hi, I see a wave over there. Let me see.
Mhm.
That's, oh, Ella.
Love you,
Ella, how are
Jory.
you?
Oh, I'm just so glad to see you and lay eyes on you and get to send love to you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. And thank you, River, for being available for this.
Robin, it's Punita. Can you put me in a room with English speakers, please?
Yeah, I could barely hear you, Panita. I heard in a room, but I didn't hear the specific request.
English speakers, please.
With English speakers?
I was in a room with people who were speaking another language.
Okay, so you'd like to be with English speakers. All right, gotcha. Do you remember what room you were in, Panita, so I can find you easily?
I have no idea. Sorry.
Okay, no worries. I will find you.
Only two other people, and it said Sala, but they look like they might have been speaking Japanese.
Okay, you're in 16. Gotcha. And I will move you to...
Hi, Jory, I love you.
Okay, there you go, Punita. I'm just scanning through the rooms to make sure nobody's alone in a room. And if there's anyone here in the main room that wants to be in a room, please let me know and I can move you.
Thank you.
Janet, I think I saw your hand. And Ella, I see your hand. Okay, so you'd both like to get to a room. Let me find you and I will get you moved.
Thanks, Robin.
Absolutely. Okay, room 19, and let's see. Ella, move you to room 19. Okay, and Janet, I think was the other one. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Janet.
Jocelyn, you also want to go to a room, right?
Yes, I put a chat for you, Robin. I was in room 11.
Thank you. I find you.
Thank you.
Okay. Is there anyone else who wants to go to a room?
I see a hand of
Wihua.
We've
We what?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love you, Jory. Miss you.
Mhm. Very sweet. Mm. Yeah, I also see Re, I think that's how you pronounce it, R-I-E, Re on the bottom right of my screen. It's not in a group. And Catherine.
Maybe you'd like to be in a room?
Might have walked, they might have walked away. Okay.
I wasn't hearing a yes on that, so I'm not
No,
gonna.
I wasn't
move in.
either. Yeah. Catherine, and there are some people who don't have equal signs in front of their names who have not gone to a group, if that's true. Here we have one, Maki.
Yeah. Can you
Martha,
send to a Japanese room, please?
Martha, did you make a room for Japanese speakers?
Yes.
I can't hear you, Martha. But
said
that's okay.
yes.
I'm trusting you'll get Maki moved.
She said yes.
Yeah, hold a second. Oh, yes.
I saw your hand, JP. Is it still something? I'd love to hear your voice if there's something to say.
I'm trying. Yes, here you are.
Oh, there's Maki. See them. Hi, Maki.
I send you to 15.
Oh, Maki, I see.
Yeah. And Casey, or Hina, actually, I think. Did you want to be in a group? You're muted.
You're muted. I'd love to hear your voice, darling.
I see your mouth moving, but I
You're
don't hear
getting-
your
you're
voice
getting
because
there.
you're not mute. You're still muted, and you can't figure out how not to be. Is that what it is?
Are you on a phone? A
I'm
tablet?
trying to send you a message, a clip to, so you can see a message in your screen.
Your computer is not working.
Yeah.
That was very well done, Hina.
Well, Hina, I cannot tell you how overflowing my heart is to see your image. I'm just
It's
so
been a while.
touched. Yeah.
It's been a real while, sweetie.
Yeah. We go back 40 plus years too, 47 years or something like this.
Are they
Yeah.
really that long?
Oh yeah. If it wasn't
know.
cornucopia week
Sure.
or that
Yeah.
that week, it was around that time.
Yeah. We have a long history.
Hey, is Jocelyn still in the room? I think she might have gotten moved, but I just want to make sure because I had a message asking to move her.
Not seeing her name.
Don't see.
Okay. Okay, then I think we got her moved.
Yeah.
Yay, thank you.
Oh, yes, I move it. I move her.
Okay. Okay.
Well, Hina, if you're still there, you probably have brainstormed this. Forgive the uninvited advice, but trying to connect with the phone is another possibility. If the computer is not giving you audio, because I just love to hear your voice.
I know the feeling. It's just too complicated. Thank you anyway. Right? I understand. John, I haven't seen you in ages. Good to see your face, even if it's a pic. There you are. Hi, sweetie.
Oh. Hi, Jory. It's really good to see you.
Yeah.
Mm,
Long time no see.
Yeah.
great to see you,
Appreciate,
John.
yeah, I'm appreciating
Hi,
all
River.
you're still doing for NVC. It's quite wonderful.
Thank you.
I see a lot of people down there down here that I know and love. I see your names. It's very sweet.
I see a couple of people join the session. We are in breakout rooms. We are sharing about Jim's impact in our life. Please let me know if you want to join a room, and if you prefer to stay here, no action needed.
Yeah, and I imagine you can either put that in the chat or open your video and or your face and your sound for Marta.
Thank you.
And River, I just wanted to quickly let you know I'm sending an updated agenda with the times where we're at now, the time we're at now, knowing we can shift and change at any point, but just sending it over to you. And Jory, I can send it to you
Yes,
too if
please.
you'd like,
Please do.
so that you all have an idea of where we are.
Are you sending it in the chat?
Yes, I sent it in the chat.
Oh,
So
okay. Oh, no.
you can ignore it if you like, or you can look at it if you want. And I trust that this is going to unfold exactly the way it's meant to unfold, regardless of the timing. But the timing's there, just in case you want it.
Yeah, and I so appreciate that you, Robin, and you, Marta, and also River are doing a lot of making sure things are staying together and moving forward. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So what I'm
I used to
not
call Jim my staff, but now you're my staff. Hi, Yuko.
Robin, I don't see on this updated schedule the video from, I've forgotten her name already.
Oh, yeah. I figured we would just pop that in.
And that would happen shortly after we come back from the breakout, was the thought that
Right.
Does that still feel
Right.
good to you, Jory?
I'm sorry, I missed the first part of what you
Yeah,
said.
do you remember that there's a video that we're gonna show
Oh, right.
that, and can someone remind me her name? I don't have it correctly.
Achun? I think it was Achun.
Achun, yeah. Then that would happen shortly after we come back from the breakout.
I don't remember what the video was.
We haven't seen it yet. It's kind of a surprise. She made it, and we'll see it together.
It's 2 minutes and she made it. So we'll have her share her screen, and I'm hearing that that's, she's got the technological capacity to do that. So I figured we'd do that like in that time period from when we're coming back.
More like 2.5 minutes actually in Chinese, she said.
Okay.
So it's in Chinese and translated, or does anyone know? Or
She didn't say, she just said she made a 2.5 minutes offerings. Yeah.
I think we could spare 2.5 minutes.
Hi, Jory.
Hi, my dear Yuko. I was just looking at your face, and we're on the same page here.
Yeah. So a big storm hit Maui. I saw on the news. How did
Yes.
you survive?
Yeah. Well, I've been married to someone who is very, very skilled at making sure that we have whatever we want. And so we did not lose our power. If it
Mm.
stayed on much longer, we would have, because he had backup power there, but it was getting close to the end of it. Most people on this island actually lost their power and just lived in the dark and made sure not to open the refrigerator and freezer too often.
So you're okay. Mm.
Yeah, we did okay. Yeah.
And my friend Sushi delivered the food to your house.
Yes. Yes. Oh, yes. Thank you for reminding me. That was so sweet. It was sweet to meet them. And it was also nice to have some food that was delivered. Thank you.
Yeah, then send me a picture. So I was happy to see you smile.
Oh, nice. Nice. I had never met them before, so that was a treat too.
They're a very good Japanese chef on the island. So if you ever, to, yeah, I recommend.
Thank you. Thank you. I didn't realize they were chefs. That's nice.
Yeah, they lost the power. They had to cook on the stove. I mean the portable stove.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely an adventure whenever it goes out. And it's not that uncommon, as you know, on Maui. It just happens because we're there in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
So I'm glad.
You planning to come back and at any point, or?
Oh, I have to visit you now. I kind of want to make sure that you're okay. Yeah, but
For
yeah,
those of you who don't know, she used to live next door to us for a while.
yeah, we survived together during those kind of storms. So yeah.
Yeah. You know the story of us moving to this island, right? When Jim wanted to move and I said, you got to be crazy. And then after a while, I thought about it and okay, that's what my lover wants. And I just said, well, okay. And he said, no, I won't go there by okay. Like that energy. He wasn't willing to come until I came to a place where it really did feel okay for me. He was that amazing, the man. I mean, I was so lucky to have him.
Sorry to interrupt, just to let people that is arriving know we are in breakouts now. People is sharing with others the impact from gyms in them lives. You can join groups, you can tell me, you can put it in the chat or open your microphone. There have like 10 more minutes in breakouts. You can stay here if you want, just to let you know what is happening. And welcome.
Yes, welcome. Oh, Sarah. Hi, sweetie.
Hi.
Where'd you go? You were there a minute ago.
I should be moving up to the here. I'll put my hand up and then.
Oh, there you are. Yeah, all the way up at the top. Hi, sweetie.
Yeah. Oh, it's lovely to be here and just sending everybody so much love. Yeah.
It's very sweet to see you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hear about you all the time.
Oh.
You have a sweet relationship. Thank you.
Thank you. And hello to River and to everyone else.
Sarah, did you hear the message that we're in breakout rooms for like another 10 minutes? Just
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you came in before Martha said that or after, but just wanted to make sure you heard it.
Thank you. Thank you, Robin. I think being here with Joy and River and seems and Roger seems most important so far. Yeah.
And our son and his wife are here too. But they went into a group, I think. Either that or they decided not to stay. I'm not sure.
Jaya and Jiva and Hannah are all in a breakout room together.
Oh, are they? Oh, so Jaya did come.
Yes.
Nice. Nice. Perfect.
I'm feeling so quiet, appreciative, being accompanied in this time that we've set aside for each other. Many names I don't recognize, and it's so nourishing to me to just be in this field of care and appreciation and mourning, and but mainly the appreciation of the many, many gifts that came through Jim that I've incorporated, that we've incorporated, and continue to develop as my story. And I'm guessing it's something like that for us all.
River and Jory, there's been quite a few chats, and I know
Oh.
that you all don't pay much attention to them. So would it be okay if I read a few of them out?
Yes, I'm much less embarrassed. I'd like to hear it. I very much like to hear it. Thank you.
Yeah, well, and it
If there's
makes
anyone, wait, I just want, if there's anyone who doesn't want it read, just send her a text real quick. Okay, go for it.
I would only read the public ones. So
Okay.
yeah,
great.
and it makes sense that you don't follow the chat. It's, you know, it's this multitasking thing. You know, if we're paying attention to the chat, it's harder to be fully present to what's happening in the moment. So, you know, I just wanted to offer that. And for some people, they do it really, really, really well, but it can be challenging too. And you had said to me you weren't going to pay attention to the chat, so that's why I thought to bring this up. So I heard from Moksha, thank you for creating this opportunity for us, for me, to simply just breathe with you, Jory, or you to breathe with me or us. Just sharing space with you in this time is extremely nourishing and very grateful.
And so am I.
Yeah. Grateful for the kindness of Jim from Dylan. Scanning through. Gratitude. Rena's expressing gratitude for Corey for the precious blessing of contributing the recording of Jim. Yeah. Go is saying mahalo.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes. Whoa, you did it.
Yay.
Congratulations.
Oh, don't you love computers? It just froze. I couldn't do anything.
Oh,
It's great to see you all in our white hair and no hair. Yes, River, we go back to the beginning.
Yes.
yes.
And my greatest memory was Jory and Jim getting together.
What do you remember about that?
That's right. We were both connected to you before we were connected to each other. I just remembered that.
That's right. We were friends
Yeah,
before.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It seemed like a match in heaven. I don't, you know, it's a long time ago. Memory fades, but it was beautiful. You know, of course, I love you both tremendously. I'm very happy to be here and see everybody. And I'm
Yeah. Pretty amazing that Jim and I knew you and River before we knew each other.
right.
We're at the same group, but our timing was different initially.
Yes. Strawberry Fields.
Yeah.
The dorm of all dorms.
Yes. Yeah.
And
Was it, what was it called? Was that cornucopia? No,
yeah,
no.
cornucopia.
Oh, yeah, it was called
and-
cornucopia. Okay.
And the resident rooms were on Strawberry Fields
Right.
forever.
Yep, I'm having flashbacks. 40 some odd years ago. I knew
Yeah.
her before Jim knew me, and Jim knew her before I knew him.
And River and I were next door to
Yeah.
each other.
Right.
Wow. It's a joy to see you. Do you mind if I ask about Jim? Was this it was sudden? We didn't he was going in for surgery. We didn't know.
It was sudden to realize that it was his lungs actually that went out, but he was already having a lot of medical stuff. He was in the hospital when he died, and not for that. Nobody actually seemed to know, as I
Wow.
understand it. Part of me has avoided even hearing a lot about it, and so I can't be the best resource of what is happening or what
Okay.
was happening. I mean, yeah.
Well, he was
River would be a better resource than I. He was tracking with me. Yeah.
River, you're in Philadelphia?
Yes, I am. Yeah. Been in Philly since 2015. Hina, I see Roger's hands up. Do you mind if I attend to him for a second?
Please.
Hi, Roger.
Hey, Roger.
Hi, Jory. Hi, River. I just need to start with I regret not having reached out to you sooner, Jory. I don't even have an explanation of why I couldn't do that.
I do. I haven't responded to most of them. So I understand that.
Well, I'm enjoying hearing you laughing. So, and hearing Hina's and you and River sharing memories, and so I have some that I would like to share. Would that be okay? I'm not hearing it. No.
Can I interject just for clarity? People will be back in, I'm imagining we have a 60-second warning, so 2 minutes. So not saying you only have 2 minutes, but we're going to share now and we'll be sharing after people come back from the breakout rooms. So if it's going to take more than 2 minutes, you might want to wait.
I don't
Just
want
so
to
you
wait.
didn't get interrupted.
I don't want to wait any longer. I've been waiting too long already. And so the memory portion of it goes for me when we met, Jory, and you and I, Jim, it was an international giraffe convention up in Bellingham, Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that event was being hosted by University of Western Washington, and more specifically on their Fairhaven College campus, which was my alma mater. And we were housed in student housing on campus. And you and Jim, and then I was with Kathy. We were sharing it was like a 5-bedroom apartment, and we had our separate rooms, and that's where we met. And I was just in awe, just like gobstopped at the way the two of you lived in BC. I just was so inspired that I knew I wanted the two of you to be part of my life. And so the strategy I came up with was, let's do a leadership program together. And the two of you said yes. And so we danced there for a number of years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It's been quite the ride, and it's.
I remember one picture, and darn it, I haven't shared it. It was we might have used it in marketing for compassionate leadership. We were standing at the base of a palm tree, and Jim was standing on a little part of the root structure of that palm tree. We were pretty close up against it. And I remember him saying when he looked at, oh my God, I'm the tallest one in the photo. And that was important to him. That was what was funny.
Oh, welcome everybody back here. Look at this.
Thanks. Love you.
Thank you, sweetie. Now what?
Well, so to bring us together, let's just press pause and be silent. Just notice what we're noticing together.
Mhm.
In a moment, I think we'll see the video that Achun prepared for us. And then there'll be several minutes, at least a half an hour, I would say, for more individual voices, us being together and hearing what emerges. So whenever the technology works out for the video, I think that may be next.
Martha, we probably need to give Achun the co-host. And is it if it's a time, I will let her know to be prepared. 阿春，你的当他们把你成为
Please
联系
no.
She is co-host now. Thank you.
阿春，你现在是联席主持，如果你可以的话，你可以把那个录像分享出来。
可以吗？可以看到吗？
可以看到，你要把它放成全屏。你现在还不是全屏。在右下角的，就是那个 AI 字幕在右边。不，就是
这里。
对对对。
阿春，你可以选择音乐模式吧。
你说什么？
没有声音。
对，你要分享声音。
有一个音乐模式。
音乐模式。
首先，你的视频是有声音的，对吗？
是的。
那你先把它关掉，然后在分享之前，你要勾取一个音频吧，我觉得是不是？For people don't speak Mandarin, she's just dealing with the audio. So if we could give her a few moments, we're trying to make the sound work.
Thank you. I appreciate the play-by-play.
有一个音乐加原声。
有人知道这个音乐？
要退出去，阿春，你要停止，然后退出去，
对，
退出分享，然后你在进入之前，你先要，比如说你按分享，它会出现一个音，就说你要勾选。我一般在勾选右边的时候，你要勾选我要分享声音，这样才会有声音。现在是没有声音的。
我勾选了共享声音。
好，那你现在再重新应该会有声音。
新开始是吧
？We're just technical supporting to
？
try to make the audio work.
这样可以。
Yes.
since I've seen you because I've been traveling and I think I got sick.
So I invite us once again to press pause. Thank you so much, Achun. And Jory, if you have anything to break the silence, I'd welcome your voice or a signal.
So much gratitude to be here with all of you. And gratitude for the times we've spent together. So I see some hands up. Is that enough time for you, River? Yeah. So we'll move to that. Julie?
Thanks to Achun for making this video. To those who don't know about Jim's work in Mandarin community that includes China, a lot of cities, a lot of places, I just wanted to say that I feel so grateful for Jim's generosity of spreading his love to places. And Jory and I so much, I still remember the days that I get to spend. I was feeling, and I am feeling so fortunate that I get to spend 3 days with you and Jim in Hangzhou, my hometown. And we had so many talks. One is I asked Jim why he wanted to move to Hawaii, and he said he always wanted to live in a tropical island. And now, Jim, when I think about, sorry, Jory, when I think about it, I just feel so happy for Jim that he lived a life that he loved. He lived with a person he loved for his entire life, his family. What a beautiful life. And he's working on a career that he's fully passionate about. What a beautiful life. What a joyful life, Jory. I just want to celebrate and express my gratitude to you and to Jim.
Thank you. I celebrate it too. I'm just going to add a little story about us moving to Maui. I didn't want to move to Maui. I didn't want to live in the middle of the Pacific Ocean away from family and friends and all of that. And I really worked on my head, the phrase we used, and to make it okay. You know, I wanted my beloved to have what he wanted. And so I went to him and I said, okay, if that's really what you want, I'll do it. And he said, not going with that voice. So he wasn't just gonna grab what he could get. He knew it had to work for both of us. And one of the things that we often talked about and remembered was how when we flew over to Maui when we were moving, and I looked down and I said, oh yeah, there's our house. He said, yes, it's our house. And he was so excited to know that I actually was excited too. So thank you for sharing that. Is that complete? Yeah. And we'll go to Ella.
Thanks for that, Julia and Jory. I think what I'm so struck by right now is just how I feel his presence. I was sharing in the group that as soon as I logged on to the Zoom call, I felt him. And I know we all may have different spiritual backgrounds or experiences. I wanted to share that my experience of Jim is that he was a very spiritual being in my evaluation. One of the things that I was able to articulate today was that when I sensed Jim's generosity, it came from this place of, well, we're one. So if we're one, why wouldn't I want to give to you? It came from such a place of delight and that generosity of abundance, this sense of I have enough, this non-grasping that I experienced in Jim is really very profound. And I'm still making sense of the kind of generosity that he was able to live. And the deeper spiritual implications of that. And I think to myself, I must have that in myself. I've seen it. And I also want to share that Jim's humility, his willingness to reflect and repair and learn in our friendship, it just showed me a kind of sacred masculinity that is very beautiful and special and particularly healing for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel really grateful. I've had some incredibly gentle men in my life. And Jim is just such an embodiment of that gentleness and strength and searing intellect. And I just want to close by acknowledging you, Jory, and his children, Jiva, who I've met, hi, and Jaya, and what a titan this man was and is, and I'm very, very sorry for your loss. And I'm very, very grateful and celebrate his legacy and his life too. Thank you.
Thank you. Me too.
Can I use the line for a moment?
Yeah.
Hi. I appreciate being here, and I wanted everybody, I appreciate what you just said, Ella, in many ways, and want to for those who haven't met her, this is Nora, Jim's granddaughter.
Oh my
And
God.
she was born just over a year ago, and during the month leading up to her birth and for the month afterwards, they were here in Tucson with us. And so that means that, you know, a year ago today, he was sitting in the room just next to where we are, holding her as much as he possibly could. He would wake up in the morning and text message, you know, send us a text message that was like, can I come over and hold the baby? Can I come over and be with Nora? And who's now handing me the complete sayings of husband and the icon. But just a lot of joy in being a grandpa, and a lot of connection in that too, and a lot of teaching in that for me and for us, and the way that he brought each of those qualities that I know so many of you have expressed and experienced into her life, even if it was just for a short time. She'll know that she was held by her grandpa. She'll know that she was loved and held with such warmth and safety and care. And so we all get to know that and remember that, and do our best to embody it too. So just wanted everybody to know Nora for a moment.
Yeah.
Also.
And I hardly existed when Nora was born. He was just so in love with her. When she was first born, and I still remember when we were in the hospital, Hannah, it took ages before he would let me hold her. He wouldn't let go of her. So yes, he was very much in love with Hannah and continues. She moves on with having been loved tremendously, and she is still by us. Thank you. And we'll move to Stefan. Did I say it right? Is it Stephen or Stefan?
Stephen Michael.
Oh, Stephen
Hello,
Michael.
Jory.
Hi.
Hi. It's been ages.
Yes, it has.
And I'm so happy that Jiva, that you're here and that you brought Nora into the circle, and I get to see this beautiful human being and your wife Hannah. And I just want to join you in appreciating Jim. You know, I just want to join you in appreciating Jim. The song that we sung at the beginning about a wide view, and I just think someone mentioned in our small circle, like where'd he go? And I don't know, but I just, I'm thinking of Albuquerque and what you planted in Albuquerque, what you, Jory, and Jim planted in Albuquerque in the nonviolent communication community, and that I was part of, and like my becoming is so much part of, I think, a space of acceptance that you and Jim created. Your presence just created this incredible space of acceptance, and I could just show up however I was, and it was fine. I could come into your home, and everything was optional. Everything was choice all the time. And there was just a freedom. And so it's, it's one thing to have, the structure of nonviolent communication, but to have two human beings embody it the way you have, the choice, the freedom, the wanting us to be ourselves, and the becoming process that you helped me lean into for years. So I just treasure the Albuquerque community that you created, that you seeded. I think you were there doing it before Marshall and company showed up in Albuquerque. So I think your energy attracted him, and then the whole darn thing had to move to Albuquerque. Right. So I say to myself that, I needed nonviolent communication too much, that the whole center had to move to the city so I would wake up and learn it. So
I think it was his wife, but okay.
Yeah, well, that's a good draw. Valentina was a good draw too. you would have these great 4th of July celebrations in your backyard, and we would play kickball. I don't know why, it was the only time of year, but I always played kickball in your backyard. And to this day, everyone knows me as the person who calls it Interdependence Day. Like they think of me, I call, but no, I got that from Jim and you, Interdependence Day. I got that from you 20, 30 years ago. So there's a lot I got from you that I just absorbed. I was just my way of being male, just, you know, in this culture to be a kind of male that can both be yin and yang, you know, that can carry a wide range of emotion. Jim brought the fun, he brought the joy, but he could be with me and all of us in tender moments and tough moments. So I'm just thanking God for Jim and who I am becoming through the two of you. You made a big impression on 4,000 Men. I mean, nonviolent communication, no, it wasn't part of the Comienzos program before I met you all. And because of you all, nonviolent communication got into our program and it shifted so 4,000 people I've estimated have been touched, you know, because through this, anyhow, this movement. So I just had to appreciate you and Jim and thank you for it's part of me, it's part of us. You and Jim are part of me and part of us. And I love seeing that we're part of Nora and and a bigger world.
Thank you. It sounds like you're complete.
Yes.
Lynn Jones, oh my goodness, long time no see. Hi, Lynn.
Hi, yes, long time. So Brendan and I were reminiscing about living next door and waking up in the morning to Jim bellowing from the balcony, "I'm glad to be alive." Remember that? Any time where that was his practice every morning.
Yes.
Well, I don't know, 2 or 3 times. "I'm glad to be alive."
Right.
Be like, "That's the alarm clock, time to get up."
Thanks for reminding me. Oh, sweet. Very sweet.
Yeah. Many memories that I'll share. We'll get on the phone and I'll share a lot of those old memories, Jory.
Okay. Thanks.
Special times. Those are very special times. And Brendan is on. He's on this Zoom.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can see him if you go through. You'll see him. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Love you.
Yeah. Sweet. That was sweet. We were neighbors for quite some time and now we're cooking. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And moving on to Elaine.
Thank you, Jory. Thank you, River and Martha, and thank you all. In the breakout, we have a very wonderful moment to record a beautiful memory with Jory, and we have a very beautiful flow, even though not all of us can speak English, because we can feel the love between us and the love that Jim brought to us. Last December, when I heard the news, I can't accept it, and so that I have set up a virtual meeting in China MVC community, and that gave me an opportunity, and also the other friends, MVC friends, an opportunity to recall the memories, recall what Jim has brought to us, and also give me an opportunity to express my feelings. And we remember all the beautiful things and all the learnings and takeaways from Jim. And we also share what we can continue to move on with all we have learned from Jim in MVC, and also the human being, the generosity from Jim. He is always a long life learner. I remember he has shared with us that she teach us, and at the same time, he teach us, and at the same time, he learned from us. Oh,
yeah.
She is such a great teacher for us. And I also remember the beautiful memory when you, Jory, you come to China, come to Guangzhou to set up the workshop with us. And we have also have very happy memory in the Pearl River tour. Do you remember? You have
Vaguely.
got a small, you have got a small photo, a key ring. Yes, those are the beautiful memories. And today I can see a wider community, all the peoples from over the world to share with us the beautiful memory with Jim. And at the beginning, the song and the beautiful video and the breakout. Thank you. Thank you, Jory. Thank you.
And then we'll go to Clara.
I just wanted to share an email. I took the Taste of Compassionate Leadership course in 2023. In the last class, Jim's, Jari, I believe you weren't in this class, but I'm not sure. I think the internet stopped working while someone was receiving empathy from Jim. And it was the last class. We didn't get closure and we weren't sure what to do with that. So I decided to just do our best and continue offering empathy to the person who was sharing and share what we learned during that year.
Nice.
And you and Jim always shared that you felt so much joy being there, offering the course. I recall you sharing in one class that sometimes you didn't want to come, you didn't want to be there. And then when you were there, you were like, oh, I enjoyed this. I'm glad I was here. And I thought of that and I thought, oh, maybe I should write an email to let them know that we kept connecting. So I did that. And Jim replied, "Hi, Clara. Thank you for letting me know what happened on Saturday. Needs met for clarity, connection, and inspiration. I feel warm and happy receiving your note. Happy imagining you all continuing to connect. Wonderful to savor that you all found meaning and connection with one another. How is it for you to receive this note from me? Warmly, Jim." It's a sweet email.
Yes.
And I'm glad we will keep finding meaning and connection with one another. I'm really happy with that.
And Sherry? Hi, Sherry. You ready to unmute? Oh, there you are. Okay.
I am you.
I see your hand up, but I don't hear you.
Sorry.
There you
Yes,
are. Okay, good.
just pulling down.
Yeah.
I do appreciate this moment as you couple just to show NVC so embodied. That's why even here, it's a gift from Jory's pathway because they are your friends, your neighbors. There are NVC long years practitioners and me just 5 years practitioners. We can be all gathered together. And I have a chance to know from Achun, from how much your couple just invest your time, your love in China community. Even I was not there before. And then I know from Patty, from your friends, how you bring up your child together, the human life. And I see your son-in-law, your daughter, and also your granddaughter. It's a very precious time in this moment already. That's how I
Thank you, Jerry, and we'll move to Robin.
Thank you. So, I just wanted to take a minute to share both from my own heart, my own individual personal heart, and from the perspective of MVC Academy. From my own heart, I'd say I came here 10 years ago and remember working with you and Jim with Taste of Compassionate Leadership, and how meaningful that was to me. And I didn't spend a whole lot of time in the classes themselves, but the meaningful piece was when Jim would call me, "Hey, Robin, I can't get on the line. What's going on? Can you help me with that?" And and it was Saturdays. It was always Saturday. It was my Saturday night when this class was happening, and my phone would light up with Jim Manske, and I'd go, "Oh, hang on, everybody. I think the line's not working. I got to see what's going on with Jim." And I just remember I never dreaded those calls. I never, I saw his name. I'm like, okay, there's a problem, but that's okay because his spirit, his kindness, his generosity of spirit, like, yeah, seems like something's not going right. Can you help me fix that? And we'd always work it out. It was just, it was amazing to be in relationship in that way. And there's many, many examples and many times that in many ways. I remember doing the VIT with you and Jim when COVID hit and we did the IIT online, one of the first ones. What an experience. We all learned a lot together there. Pretty amazing. And then from MVC Academy, I want to say that Mary's really sad that she wasn't able to be here for this. She's at an IIT in India right now. But I think what I want to say from MVC Academy and Mary and Mark being the co-founders of MVC Academy is just so much gratitude for having been with us from the beginning. Long before I was even part of this company, I know that the practice group, Taste of Compassionate Leadership. It even had a different name before that. I don't remember what it was, but there's always been something going with Jim and Jory at NBC Academy. And it's always been meaningful and appreciated that you've given us that time and that support and helped us grow this company and be part of sharing NBC worldwide. So just tremendous gratitude from me and from NBC Academy and Mary and Mark and everybody at NBC Academy. Thank you.
Thank you. I have a lot of gratitude too for the support that you gave to us over and over and over again.
And I just want to say one more thing. It's Jim and Jory and Jiva and Jaya. You've all been part of this family. Jiva helped us create one of our self-paced courses, or he created one of our self-paced courses. And Jaya has worked with us at big events like this. She's done 2 of Sarah's sessions this time. Just so much gratitude for your entire family and so much love for seeing Nora and seeing this legacy continue. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for reminding me of something that went on for me when I met Jim. One of the things that we didn't agree upon was whether we would have children, because I was widowed. This is the second time I'm widowed, actually. I was widowed and not long after I got out of college. And one of the sayings that I had in myself was, oh, thank God I'm not pregnant. Thank God I'm not pregnant. That would have been so much harder. I lost my husband, and when he said he wanted kids, I'd already built the programming. And he just said, okay, we'll see what happens. And so he said, let's use natural family planning or some sort of thing that, I don't think that was quite the name of it, but something that left the door open. And how lucky I got. I got 2 kids. No, thank you. And we'll move on to Nushin.
Yeah. Hi, and hi everyone. Hi Jory, hi Jaya, hi Jiva, hi Hannah, hi Nora. Just want you guys to know that we love you. We love you. Just have so much care in our hearts for all of you. And I just wish that I just could be there with each and every one of you. Just give you a hug. And then also that maybe brew my Iranian tea or just make you a cup of soup or something to just get through this difficult time. It's loss is a loss. Loss is difficult. And I've been through difficult timing myself and in my life. And I just know that it takes time. It's just the pain lessons, but it just takes time. And I just wanted to just take a moment to just acknowledge that how much your family has contributed, has given to us, how much has changed our lives, and then how much each and every one of you have just given to this beautiful community. And just Jory, the navigating conflict was the very first course that I took through NBC Academy, and it was just seeing the 2 of you just working together, the love that you had and the teaching that you had just got me just keep coming and keep going and just put the love that's for NBC principle in my heart. And just the love to just see the 2 of you just be there on Monday night. And just remember, Jim was just so excited. He was just so proud of this. That Nushin, there's this, and did you know that there's Monday night that we have this group and all these, and then just I remember just come to Monday night and to see the two of you together, just working, just so beautiful, just such a beautiful natural flow between the two of you, you know, just leading and then with one another, just giving answer to one, giving reflection. And that was a beautiful dance between the two of you. I just remember that Jim was just everyone that was arriving in the car, he just was so excited to make for everyone so special to just be there in the call and then to just come just that showed me, you know, Jim showed me that how to love, how to live with the passion, and how to just be with what you love. And just remember the Monday night, the thing that I just remember, there was like the sound of the roosters that were just coming from the background, and it just brought some sweetness. And then he was just saying, "Oh, they're just like white roosters are just coming around," and just picturing the things. That's one of the memories that I remember. And then all the beautiful, you know, just like the calls, you know, the breakout room that we had together. And I have just had the honor to just be, you know, in the call with you, Jory, and then also that, you know, just the honor to just be with Jaya, and just you know, have her just love and support in my life. And Jivat, I have not had the pleasure to just know you and to just um, say hello to you, but just want you to know that I am Iranian. And just something that I remember that Jim was telling me that, oh, my son has been in Iran, or he has some Iranian friend or something, and he tried to just connect me with some NVC, you know, calls in Iran, and just tried really hard a couple times. That he did connect us. He did connect us, and then it just, you know, the timing didn't work out. But just you know, just want to just say that how much your family has touched my life and has impacted me. And I think the best thing that I can do, and that just the group can do, is that to just live our life according, just like the way that Jim lived his life, and then just live with the NBC principles in our lives, and just follow his footsteps. So sending
Thank
so much
you.
love to all of you.
Yeah, I notice we're getting close on time. We only have 8 minutes left, unless there's some flexibility here, Robin, I'm not sure. And we have
Joy, the way I understand it, I was asked to be a time steward. There isn't flexibility. We need to end on. So my
right.
invitation
And
is,
so, yeah, we'll move on to the other 4 people then.
I just wanted to jump the queue and just press pause for 1 second and invite the last 4 for completion to take a moment, see if you can, in 1 sentence, say what you knew, because we'd like to wrap this up and fulfill our agreement. So Punita, when you feel ready, let's just press pause, just savor each other for a moment and welcome these last voices. Thank you.
When you're ready.
Thank you. Robin, I wasn't going to share, and when you spoke, it reminded me of what I shared in my breakout group, and I wanted to say it in the whole group. When you shared about even when Jim called you on a Saturday, and even though you knew it was a problem, there was something about Jim's energy and the way he handled it that was so, and that's what I wanted to share, is that I met Jim and Jory for the first time probably in the very beginning of NVC when we were still on teleconferences. And we had an empathy day for Gandhi. And I think you might have done the whole marathon, Jory, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't necessarily remember. But I heard the two of them hold space for almost, I don't know how many hours of empathy calls. That was I was brand new to NVC, and it was my introduction to compassion and care. And what I shared with my group is, now that Jim is gone, and I'm really reflecting on how much the two of you meant in my life, Jim was the first male in my life. I'm going to start to cry. My father loved me dearly and deeply, but he was from the generation that it was kind of traumatizing. You know, it was spare the rod, spoil the child. And when Jim spoke to me on the teleconferences in the empathy practice groups, his voice and his kindness and his care and his compassion and his love, I'm realizing now, was the first male of that patriarchal energy that scared me. It helped me heal because he brought kindness and gentleness to my heart. And then when I saw his face on the Zoom calls, I was like, oh, and there it is. Thank you. Thank you, Jim. Thank you.
And we'll just move right along to you, Joaquin. There's just about 4 minutes left and 2 of you to speak. So.
Hello, Joy. This is Joaquin. We worked together on the Global Community Council, the Sociocratic Experiment. So happy to see you and offer my condolences to you and the family. And I'm here. And what I want to share is what I have taken with me and given wherever I've gone. I was quote unquote just a note taker. I was nobody. I wasn't a trainer. And there I was in this room with Jim and Jory. And gradually you had me go from being just a note taker to be on the team, one of us. I'm working with Jim and Jory. And that power of including people, I have taken with me and spread in NBC spaces and other spaces wherever I go. And,
thank you for all you're doing.
Thank you. And then there was this balance between being and doing. Do we really have time for empathy for everyone and care for everyone when we have so much to do? And what does it matter anyway when no one reads our notes and I don't remember the details, but I remember you and Jim. You always had time to listen and had this faith that we're walking our path here and it will make a difference. We may not see that. And I have such a togetherness with that. I have the same belief, but it was very much strengthened. And I bring that with me everywhere I go in these spaces and other spaces. And finally, it's hard for me to say what I got from Jim and what I got from Jory. And that says so much about the two of you. And I so appreciate his part in that, honoring always himself and you and the two of you together. Thank you.
It leaves you, Sarah, with a couple of minutes at most.
I'm honored to be here to talk to you. I apologize for my voice. I'm just coming back from a spiritual retreat with the respiratory infection, but I'm challenging my voice to be able to speak up, to thank you and Jim for so many years of authentic and loving and present communication. And I'm a former school teacher, and when I first chose the first class for my son, I went around to every elementary school in the area, and I picked not the teacher who had the kids coloring between the lines, but the teacher who had the kids going from one place in the room to another and being empathic to her students and present with her students. And I did the same thing in NBC. I'm not saying any of the other teachers were not great teachers, they all were, but I was looking for a particular kind of teacher, and I found you and Jim as authentic and being with your students and caring and listening, and that's what I needed. And I still feel like I'm getting it in spirit, and I'm really sad, and I want to wish my deepest condolence to you and to Jiva and to Jaya, and just say I'm here for you if you ever want to reach out. And I so appreciate all the students in the class who I learned from and with, and all of the assistants like Robin and others who helped us connect to you in such an easy way. And to you, Jory, for being able to stand up after such a loss and to be here with us. Thank you.
Thank you. And Robin, I wonder if you could save the chat there and send it to me, because I
Yeah.
have been putting my attention there. And I have a lot of gratitude to all of you. I see we're at the top of the hour, and unless if there's a minute for George, I'm not sure if that's so for you, Robin. It's your call.
We can take one more minute for George, and then we're going to end the session with a 3-minute video of him. It's the video of the audio version that you listened to earlier.
Oh,
So
wonderful.
play that.
Yes.
It takes about 3 minutes, and then we'll end the call, and then I can go open the other line that needs to open.
Yeah, and send me the video, the what we're gonna see too. Thank you.
I will.
You will. And George, you have about a half a minute. Go for it.
Yes, thank you. I remember one time I was translating for Jim, and another girl was translating for Jory on one meeting, and I was very grateful to Jim for not saying a word at that meeting, and I was just waiting here and talking to Jim privately, and he said we can just hear, keep smiling, and yes, nodding the head, and they can keep talking one day. And I really thank him to teach me a valuable life lesson about how to deal with girls. And yeah, if Jory wants to talk, I want to say we're always here. And if you want to run an online course, we're always here. If you want to come to China or go to other countries to run a workshop in the world, we're always here. Thank you.
And to you, Robin.
River, did you want to say anything in closing before I start the video? Okay.
Thank you.
Let's think about the trajectory that we have when we think about mourning, because of this deep habit of that's ingrained in us in our society. We tend to avoid it, and yet it's, as far as I can tell, it's an observation that every single one of us will have loss. Every single one of us will have loss. We will lose pets and objects and beliefs and opportunities. So everybody's going to have that happen. And wouldn't it be great if we had built into our educational system the capacity to have the emotional intelligence to be able to be with ourselves and to be with others in the face of loss? And so one way to think about what mourning is, it's the ability to transform that suffering of loss, by letting go of the resistance that's inside of us to what is. And then just being willing to allow our experience to unfold. And if you think about how we often, because of the way we've been educated, how we, when we have loss, the first thing we often do is blame somebody else. You know, like we just were watching Netflix and watching the story about Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls, and how often when we lose something, even a game, we look for whose fault it is. It's either my fault or their fault. So there's a blame aspect to it, or we blame the external resources or external circumstances. I mean, and we resist it. We just like push away loss. And then as we continue to grow our emotional intelligence and our willingness to be with life, we might begin to notice the resistance or the blame when it comes up. So we fine-tune our awareness to become aware of not only the feelings of sadness, but our resistance to feeling sad. And then, and again, usually it's gradual, we begin to let go of the idea that something's wrong. I remember when we first moved to Hawaii, we met a new friend, Nicole, and she, in the middle of an NBC meeting, she says, "What if there's nothing wrong here?" So she was really awakening me to this idea that the thought of wrongness is in my head. It's not an observation. So I can let go of believing that something should be different than it actually is. And then to open up the space to just experience feelings and allow that experience of connecting to feelings to connect us to our needs or the needs of somebody else.
Thank you all for coming. Thank you for actually more than just coming today, but being part of our heart and our goal of life. And this community is very precious to me. Just want you to know that gift. And I wonder, River, is there anything you want to say before we end here? Brother River, Jim's brother.
Just that Jim was the consummate student. He was always using moments to practice. So from now on, use Jim. One invitation is to use every moment as a chance to grow our heart bigger than we can imagine.
Ah. Thank you. All right. I still don't know how to save it, so.